Hello everyone, I'm Kiara Atkins, Person County native, founder and owner of Keys Point of View and More LLC, and I'm grateful and honored to be a part of Just Love in Person's 2021 Artist Showcase. Check me out. Growing up in Person County, I actually kind of lived all over with both my mom and my dad. I grew up in Timberlake. Well, some people may call it Soul City, where my family's from. I lived out in Allensville, Hicks Heights, kind of been all over Person County personally. I graduated class of 2008. Hey, one of the largest graduating classes of Person High School. After graduation, I actually was accepted to Winston-Salem State University, where I actually got my undergrad degree, my bachelor's degree in political science in 2013. And after I graduated from Winston-Salem State, my grandmother told me, do something that's gonna make Roxborough proud of you, that you are a product of Roxborough, but you don't have to come back home, keep going further. And that's what I did. I didn't know what the plans were right away once graduation happened, but I was offered a job as a membership coordinator and director of the Winston Lake YMCA. So I started there. My journey there was amazing. I had a connection and interaction with a lot of senior citizens, helping them, better their self, mind, spirit, body, and soul. And I left there when I was expecting my first child, little Miss Kirsten Doris Hensley, my heart, my pride, and joy. I had my daughter, and it was something kept coming to me, like maybe a year after graduating college. And it was like, you're supposed to go get your master's. You're supposed to keep going. You're not supposed to stop. I then enrolled into Kaplan University to get my master's in public administration. And in the midst of that, I had some good, close people to me that I met and interacted with from the YMCA. And something that I guess my mom instilled in me for a very long time, saying that my personality will take me far in life. And apparently it did that. Right there at the YMCA, one of our board members actually asked me, was I ever interested in working at a financial institution? And I told her, I was like, well, that's kind of ironic because, yes, I thought about banking, even though I didn't go to school to pursue a degree in financial education or literacy or anything like that. I was like, I tried out. I applied for BB&T, and it was history. I started with BB&T maybe a couple of months after having my daughter. I started off as a part-time teller. I went from being a part-time teller to full-time, to a leader, to a banker, all just like this. It was like a snap of a finger. It was like I closed my eyes, opened my eyes, and I was in the greatest position I could possibly think I could be in, to come from someone who has a degree on the political standpoint. And that was life. That's been life. My family, my education, getting to where I need to be as an individual so I can pour back into my daughter, of course, other nieces, nephews, and cousins and family members back home who were, coming out of high school at the time, or going into or coming out of college as well. It's not easy. It sounds easy, even if, coming from a small town as Roxborough, it's not easy to leave a family-oriented environment and to embark into your own plans and aspirations and goals alone. So coming to Winston-Salem was kind of challenging and hard for me, but I made it through, and here I am. I've had a lot of life experiences from college to the career working life, being an adult. A lot of us might not like it, but you sometimes have to be that an adult. And so now as an adult, life hit hard last year. Last year during the pandemic, I lost my career job with BB&T during a merger, and I went through a very depressing stage. And it's kind of tough to still kind of talk about it, but I'm grateful and glad to know that I come from a praying family, a believing family, and close-knit friends around me that uplifted and encouraged me during that time. And my fiance saw something that, you know, I guess I kind of had blindsided, pushed to the side, wasn't thinking about anymore. And he said, this is only the beginning. And he was like, you've been talking about getting a camera. You've been talking about doing photography. And he was like, so I got something for you. And I was like, what is that? He said, check your email. I checked my email and it was a confirmation of a new Canon camera and the whole kit to start a photography business. And I was just like shocked because, you know, you just lost your job and you're like, you're thinking about something else. But it was like, be grateful God has placed this vessel in your life because he's here to uplift you, encourage you, and push you to the next level. I experienced anxiety attacks last year during the pandemic. I know the pandemic, you know, was a lot for a lot of people. But before losing my job, having those anxiety attacks and then losing my job, and then for my spouse to go and get something that I've been saying I wanted to do and that, you know, I'm very interested in, it was all aligning. It was God's planning. It was God's timing, and he still has more to come for me. But at that moment, right then and there, I knew, like, okay, you need to take a moment and do something that you really love, something that you like and are interested in. You've poured so much into school, making sure you get, you know, the right degrees, and you put so much into a job, a career job, and here you are now, and they've let you go. Now what? It was challenging, and then it was almost that moment where you say, get up, girl, you got this. There's more to life. That was that beginning stage of my plans I had for myself. Maybe specifically not what God solely has for me. So here we are. Started, you know, going with my family first, you know, going to family and friends' houses during the holiday season last year. And I was like, you know what? Something that I get annoyed by when it comes to pictures now that I have a child. One, my child has messed up her outfit maybe before we even get to the location or the destination to take pictures. What do families need for when it comes to, you know, their photography needs? And it's someone that can come to them, someone that can allow them to have options to make them feel comfortable in their own space. So I ordered several different holiday backdrops. When people ask, I'm like, hey, I'm going to start off with the basic, you know, $75 Christmas minis. I can come to your house, set up everything. You can take pictures either outside or we can set up in your home and take pictures. $75, 30 minutes. If your child messes up their outfit, there's nothing to run to the next room, upstairs, down the hallway to change their clothes, and you're okay, versus you're already somewhere else and you're just going to have to be stuck there and hope and pray that they're an expert at Photoshop of clearing out those stains or anything like that. And my closest friend, Amber, said, you can try it with me and my family. I have a newborn baby. Come to my house and we'll try this out. And it was history. Then I just started having everyone ask. I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't think I need to post it. I don't think I need to share yet. I'm just getting out there. And it was like, no, Kiara, like, this is a great idea. Like, this is good. Like, I didn't have to leave and go anywhere. I didn't have to rush to make it to you on time. Like, you came here, you set up everything. You had the display. You had all kind of props for us. Like, I was that kid. I was that family member of my friends. We have to take pictures. Let's do this, let's do this. You know, here. Like, stop, that's enough pictures. For me, like, no, it's never enough. You're creating memories. You can look back at these and you can think about exactly what happened during that time, during that session. And you're like, we really did do all of that. And Kiara was a part of that. So that made me happy during the holiday seasons. And as the year and the months started going by, I started to get more and more into the photography and the different ideas, and, you know, going in to get a certification from a young lady named Miss Ashley Crawford with Still Shots Photography out of Greensboro. networking with several other photographies from Raleigh to Charlotte and even a few here in Winston. It has been very exciting to know that there are so many other people who are interested in taking pictures and understanding the purpose of the pictures that you're capturing, the memories that you're making, and how you're actually making someone feel. So now with my photos, it became so where I was concerned about what type of photography are you going to boil it all down to? What is going to be your niche? I'm still trying to figure that out. So I'm that photographer right now where I say I shoot anything from Key's point of view. So as long as you trust me, I have all kinds of ideas. My brain gets to going and you're like, I would have never, ever, ever, ever thought about that. And I'm like, oh, hey, you know what? I like graduation photos. I love to capture someone that's graduating. I love wedding photos. I would love to capture someone's wedding. Families, just your generic individual birthdays, those have been the most fun because you allow someone to be seen for themselves and what they want. It's been more so kids, some adults that have been doing a lot of photo shoots for celebrating their birthdays. You have branding shooting that I complete. You have, like I said, you have your birthdays, branding, maternity, you have graduation shoots, you have engagements, some that I haven't done yet, but my favorites will have to be the birthday and graduations, because it's like birth. You get to always celebrate life, celebrate every single day that you open your eyes and the Lord allows you to take a deep breath. You should be excited about that. So why not feel good when you're taking your pictures to show everybody, hey, it's my birthday, or hey, I've been to school for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, however long it takes you, you still put in the work to get that degree, to get that diploma. Why not take a picture so the world can see and that you're celebrating and you're happy and you have a picture to look back on and you're like, even though I look amazing right here in those graduation photos, you don't know what I was looking like in those library days, sitting there with my head down. It's good to know that I know people are looking at their photos and they're like, you really made me feel good about myself. And for me this past year, even though with that, like I said, during the pandemic, it was challenging and I started off in the holiday season, those pictures were my favorite pictures because they were some of my closest friends and family. And I know that they were supporting me. And this was a big deal. But what can you do? What else can you do, Kiara, once the holiday season was over? So once the new year, this came about, you had spring. I did a spring pop-up for Easter back at home in Roxborough because I felt that I needed to do something that was not just about Easter egg hunting. It was about Christ, understanding what Easter really actually means, what Resurrection Sunday means. And for me, that was going back home. I've never had an Easter Sunday away from home. So that's Roxborough. So for that, I took that back home, and that Easter pop-up was amazing to network and work with other local vendors and business owners who were just getting their names and businesses off the ground and up and out there for people to see and know. Even during the pandemic was very exciting, and to see other people I hadn't seen in years, and to have close family, church relatives, everyone came and supported the Easter pop-up and what I had going. And they were like, there's so much more you can keep doing with these photos. We never thought about that, like a pop-up with photos. And I knew that a lot of people from church also would see the vision. And I'm like, let me go back home. New Hope is back home. My church family that I grew up with and who I grew up with in just the neighborhood and the community. I'm like, this is a big deal. Let's see how we can, you know, put this spotlight on so many other things. Like if God's in the midst of it and you're doing it genuinely from the heart for the right reasons, for the right people, so much greatness is going to come out of it. So Easter was some of my best work too, I thought. But now we're transitioning to a whole almost 365, and it's like, now where are you now? And to look back at all of those pictures that as the months have gone by, I'm making that progress. And I know it's from, you know, having that support, even being all the way in Winston-Salem, knowing that I do have that support all the way back home. And the other cities that I've actually, you know, just encountered with and have traveled and visited. It's been very exciting, but I know solely of everything, it has been a transition that I have been literally witnessing myself since last October. I have literally watched every single photo shoot, every photo, every theme, every family I've even encountered. I've even had shoots where I've done, you know, sessions with this family more than multiple times, and it was fine. But when you start to doubt yourself, you have those questions. Is my work good enough? Could I do better? Am I going to keep doing this? Is it something? And for some reason, like I said, from back home to here, the Lord has definitely showed me that there's a lot more that He has in me for the photography business. And I went ahead and jumped out there. I had a conversation with my mom, my fiance, and my pastor. And I said, you know what? It's time to take it serious. It's no longer a hobby. It's no longer something you just wanted to do. This is real business. And I went and enrolled my business with North Carolina Secretary of State. And now here we are, Keys Point of View Photography and More LLC. And I'm just waiting to see what the future has for me alone, Kiara, and then to see what the future holds for Keys Point of View and More LLC, because I know there's so much more. This is just the beginning. This was the test of the beginning stage, but there's going to be ongoing tests, and I'm ready for the ride because I know who literally is going to guide me through it all. And it's not going to be my mom. It's not going to be my fiance. It's not going to be the camera. It's going to be the man upstairs who's literally aligned everything for me since last October. And I'm ready. I'm nervous, I'm scared, but I'm ready.